Okay, okay. I do like the pixel art of this game. Which is most likely an acid pack from somewhere, right? I was gonna say, those orcs look familiar. Can you make them super tiny? That... Or I guess, well, they're not orcs then, because there are no orcs. I don't know what they are then. They sure look like orcs. Okay, so I have never... There we go. Let's mute that. That would make sense. Okay, let's... That's not the button to click, apparently. Maybe this is not a thing to mess with on stream? I just figured I would start this just to... I guess I gotta start it somewhere else. Yeah, okay, it's created, it's a... probably should have started this before I started the stream. I don't know, this was just... I thought, you know... Can you put less of an exact... Did it not do it, or did it? Well, this is a fantastic start. Absolutely fantastic start. It's not... Why am I looking at my podcast stuff? And there's a Pagorli here. Hello, hello. What are you doing? You see a spaceman? Park your car, man. That's, I suppose, an attempt at humor, yeah? Okay, was this not how I was supposed to do this? I thought that's how you start a Steam page. Sure seemed to take it, but I don't know. Did that not work? When available. Wait. Ah, wait. Okay, I found it. That's the button. There we go. Okay, so now that I have done the feed, now I can say, okay, this is the thing that I'm making. It's not a free product. It is a game. That doesn't look correct. Failed result, not okay. Except it did do it? There we go, okay. I just don't need it to put my full name in the top corner of the thing at all times. I know I have most of my full name, and I just wanted a little more. I just wanted to see what all of the Steam assets were that I need to go put together for this. I guess it's ad break anyway. Yeah, because I know this is not going to cut it for like a thumbnail and stuff, and I know these screenshots are out of date too, so it's like I gotta get a new set of screenshots, and I need to get some kind of trailer and stuff too. Plus, I don't know that I can fully nail the gameplay or the I just thought it'd be fun, something fun to start on, but I guess not. Wait, if I do F11, that's not gonna do anything in terms of... Why is F11 so touchy? It's not like it's... That key specifically, or maybe it's the top row, is just excessively touchy. I just don't need it to put my entire name there. Oh, it's okay, whatever. There we go. This will have a Windows build. It's force visible. It's like, no, it's not visible. Where's the thing for the pictures? It's like, where's the... I hardly messed with making a Steam page. I guess I could go back and look at the other ones that I've started to, just to see. Where's the actual store page? Okay, no, wait. This is... I've made an application. So now... Here... This will let me get ads. Store admin. So I could do store admin for a previous one. This is what I wanted to look at. This is what I wanted to see, was this. For the previous thing. Which I'm realizing I've spent now $300 making Steam pages. So this did not, in fact, work then. This was supposed to be a game. It said it aired. So does it... Great. Can I change it to a game? Or is this just stuck as not a game? I guess we're not messing with that. I thought that'd be some nice change of pace, but I guess not. Okay, well, I guess first step, then we get rid of moving. Because that is a little too powerful. In terms of, adds a little bit too much complexity when you can just move anything at any time. Even if it is just one button, because you can move one button of the many buttons that are on there to whatever other position. The only issue being... so this is just a... If you can pick up the button. Right? Where's the button pick up? Because I have the placing the button. Yeah, placing a button. be picking up a button is the thing that I need to. This adds to the number of moves? Oh, this is when you pick up a UI button. Yes, okay. Let's just do that. Let's start actually putting the things here. Picking up a UI button. Okay, so then there should be another spot here where it's checking if no moves is greater than 0. So this is when you're trying to pick up a button. So then we disabled this. So let's see. Picking up a button on the board. So now it should not let you pick up a button on the board, which will make it so that you can't actually remove a button. Shoot. Well then. But let's just see, let's just confirm that I'm understanding the code correctly in that case. So, I cannot in fact pick up a button, meaning I can't remove anything. Oh. Well, let's just double check that if I score something here, that... So now I have a remove. If I try to pick up something and remove it, I cannot. Okay. So this is a picking up a button on the board. I want that to be possible, but then it's placing a button on the board. Yeah, there, remove the button when placed off the board, but here should not be allowed. So then this is placing a button on the board. Okay, and then this one, if I get rid of this code here, then I can hopefully pick up a button, but then cannot place it back down on the board and can only discard it. Oh, I kind of need that if to go along with that else, don't I? So this, I lied. Yeah, stream was just a tad late because I just finished watching Weapons, which was a lot of fun. I don't know what all is it. I think it might just be Barbarian and Weapons, but so far I'm really enjoying Zack Farrier movies. Yeah, and in terms of what do I like better? I don't know. It's a good toss-up. Yeah, non-linear narrative. That's what he tends to like. It's these non-linear narratives, which is a lot of fun. Instead of having like a main character, it's jumping around a few different main characters. Okay, yeah, there we go. This guy has made... Okay, yeah, these two movies. Oh, no, I guess he's got some other stuff in here. Oh, producer of Companion. I was interested in this, too. I think not only because the actress is pretty, but also another sci-fi fiction thriller film. That is the kind of thing I like. Oh, he did everything for Weapons. Not just a writer-director, but also producer. And otherwise. So Resident Evil movie? Directing a Resident Evil movie, even. Wild. 2009 sex comedy. Interesting. Yeah, see, I've not watched any of the, like, whitest kids you know thing. I'm only learning about the whitest kids you know as of, like, now. Because of these movies. I somehow missed that despite probably being somewhat of a target audience. I don't even remember him in Barbarian. I mean, it's been a little while since I've seen it, though, because it was from 2022. I don't know. There's the part in Barbarian where it goes from the story that they're telling, and then Smash cuts to Justin Long just driving his car. It's such a good moment. It is fun that Justin Long comes back for just a moment in Weapons, at least. Yeah, definitely enjoying those. It's funny how I feel like I'm not a horror fan, and then I go watch some of this stuff. Well, I guess it's a certain type of horror. Like, I have not watched any of the Final Destination movies. I don't know if I don't have any interest in it, because, like, I saw a trailer for the last one, and I was like, actually looks kind of interesting. Because, I mean, here I am making a game about a Rube Goldberg, and that's what I understand of Final Destination movies, is that they are Rube Goldbergs of death. Oh, speaking of, they did a little bit of that in the latest Katy Perry music video. Which I'm surprised. I was actually enjoying the latest Katy Perry song. Kinda wild, because it's been, I think, years that Katy Perry's been missing. like, it's... Yeah, this last album was bland AF. It was just so much nothing. It was so much of her trying to recapture a certain era or a certain feeling that was just not there. I feel like there was also a bit with yeah, that one from the Smile from like 2020 also just did not hit for me. Just was not. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's before that. Like Harley's in Hawaii is pretty good. Small Talk. It's like that era definitely wasn't bad. Yeah, I was like, there's still some weird ones like Swish, Swish, Bish. That like, I don't know how much that would really worked. Yeah, Witness has some fun stuff on it. I don't know if it's my favorite. I think it is that like, yeah, this kind of stuff, this era here, that like her initial era had some of my favorite stuff, but this felt like a nice return to form after years of kind of bland stuff. Also, I did catch the hydrate there. Yeah, I somehow had the day off, and the only thing I really got done extra was watching Weapons. Most of it was like a kind of regular day, regular weekend routine. Okay, okay, I have no removes, so I guess I won't remove that red 5. Okay, but now I have a remove, so can I remove the red 5? I can move it. And... uh-oh. You weren't supposed to... So if it's a grid space... Otherwise it's supposed to just... Well, oh, okay. If it's a grid space, it's trying to do this stuff. Okay, let's try that again. See if that does it. And basically, I don't want it to actually snap onto the board. I just want it to float. Okay, I need a remove. But yeah, like I said, if I try to compare Barbarian or Weapons, I don't know. They're both good movies. I think Barbarian, I think, is just a little more fun to me, but Weapons is good too. Weapons has some fun stuff in it as well. Man, let's see. If I said like modern horror movie stuff, what would be like my favorite? Oh wait, so no, okay, you're still kind of just stopping instead of. But so yeah, that was not a sequence of anything at all. So let's try that. So now, if I try to just remove it, okay, that still works. But it's just if I try to place it on the board. Okay, and then held item equals null. That might be it. So it's only here if you actually manage to delete it. Otherwise, why is this cough? It wasn't happening all day, and then I don't understand it. I've never had a cough like this where it just lasts. And I'm not like hacking anything up either. I'm just making noise for some reason. The escape room now has 1,100 downloads, and someone, not me, even made a YouTube video walkthrough of it. Dang, dude, that's cool. I guess you could take pointers on how to make a video walkthrough. Maybe. I don't know if their video walkthrough is any better than yours, but it makes it sound like I'm immediately trying to critique and say your walkthrough was bad, but it was not. I just, or maybe I'm just trying to pick a fight for some reason. I don't know. So I need to get a remove, or I just stop doing that and say you start with one remove so I can test it. Number of removes, 1. Which I guess you kind of need to start with 1 moves, but I just kind of made the moves. Did I make the moves in it? So can I pick something up? No, I can't. So oh, and then the next thing I was gonna mess around with is the color palette, because if I do want to start on the Steam page, I do need to work on the actual like pictures and stuff. Okay, so I have a remove. I can just do that and remove it. I can also remove that and that and that and that. Excuse me. And then if I try to move you, okay, there we go. That's what I wanted. So if I do that. So yeah, it'll stay. Why is it deleting it at some point? That's kind of weird. And then there. Okay, so now how did I break this? It's when you pick up the button, which I actually have a comment now. Picking up a UI button. No, picking up a UI button. Picking up a button on the board if the number of moves is greater than 0, of which it's not actually lessening. So in this case, it's the number of removes. Okay, but if I think of some of those like modern horror movies, do I have like a favorite? Well, because now I'm thinking, okay, so there's like, there's that one with Florence Pugh with all the bright and the flowers and stuff. I don't know if that's a favorite, but that's a good one. A UI button. So it's our button. Okay, that took me a second to read and understand. That was not an immediate understanding on that one. Yeah, okay. It's our button now. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. what is it, like Hereditary? Hereditary is one of those ones. That's a hard watch for me. It's a good movie, but that was. I'm glad I didn't watch that in theaters. That one, I had to pause and like go, okay, this is a lot. Great. I broke my ability to add buttons now too. Dadgummit. Okay, but I can remove them. Okay, and it stops removing a bunch. Now when I try to add a button. Oh, because it is tied into moves instead of removes. Okay. Let me do num moves on here is because it also deletes it when you do that when you place it on the board. Oh shoot, is this how I'm placing the this is how I'm placing the things. Great. Why does that not work again? Shoot. There's a real possibility that we get Half-Life 3 before Grand Theft Auto 6. I thought I heard that Half-Life 3 actually did exist as a real thing, which is surprising to me. But yeah, now that Grand Theft Auto 6 has been bumped to November, I haven't heard anything concrete about a Half-Life 3 though. I just thought I heard at some point that there was, in fact, rumors of Half-Life 3 does exist. That's one I don't have any interest in. I've played some of Half-Life 1 and got motion sick, and I think did I play through all of Half-Life 2 and got motion sick? Both of those games made me motion sick. And I don't remember either of them. Yeah, okay, I'm on Steam. Of course I'm gonna have every single game for some reason. Yeah, I have 2.5 hours there and got sick. And 14 hours. So I did play through all of Half-Life 2. I could not tell you what this game is about. Gordon Freeman was a scientist. Gordon Freeman was studied in his was-studied laboratory. And he does the science, and he does it badly, so he needs to use a crowbar to kill a bunch of aliens. That's what I remember from Half-Life 2, is I ran around saying, crowbar, 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 and just smash the heck out of things with a crowbar. But that was about it. Because I know the G-Man is some weird creepy character that I don't recall this character. I know there's like some weird space level at the end that I don't remember a weird space level. I guess 14 hours. I don't know if that says whether I did finish the game or not. I guess these achievements would say if I did complete the game. Back in 2012. These all look like extra achievements. These don't look like story achievements. Yeah, and I did not play any of the episodes. Which, as a huge Gearbox fan, you'd think I would have played like Half-Life Episode 2 or something, or Half-Life 2 Episode 2, but... Some info floating around about a trailer that may be released on the 18th of November, but I don't know if those sources can be trusted. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that would go absolutely crazy for a Half-Life 3, but I'm not one of those people. Not a franchise that ever stole my heart. It was at the wrong time. I was at the wrong time and place. Okay, now we're back to this again, where you can grab and delete anything. I mean, this is not moves minus, so it is deleting the move though. And that's checking if the moves is That's when you pick up a UI button, it adds to the moves, and then here is checking if it's greater than 0. So when you pick up a button on the board, if the number of moves is greater than 0, of which when you place a button back down on the board, it's negative. Maybe if the number of removes are greater than 0 as well. That doesn't seem like it should. Those should not be tied to. Well, I guess here. Maybe we do an or. Or the number of removes is greater than 0. And just to be sure, one or the other. But no, that doesn't. Well, yeah, sure. Also, haven't played the episodes yet, and Half-Life 1 only played the more modern remake, Black Mesa. Though I haven't gotten to the end yet. Shoot, did I play some Black Mesa too? Like, I guess it's a 2012, so it's like, yeah, this kind of... No, okay, I don't even have Black Mesa. I'm thinking of Portal Stories Mel, I think is what it is. Yeah, there we go, is the, like, I played in a Portal mod thing. When is this? 2015, yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember having fun with this, because Portal's good. Portal's some good stuff. Does this say... locked achievements? 18... I've played 18 hours of Portal 2, and they're all locked? I haven't gotten any achievements? Oh, I think I might have played this on the Xbox. Because I distinctly remember playing Portal 2 with my dad. Solving the co-op puzzles on Portal 2. And we're like trying to figure out how to get one person back to some other spot and then realize, wait a second, I can just go back off of this jump pad and it'll take me straight through the same portals, and ta-da! That was a lot of fun. Okay, but the issue here is... it's picking up a UI button adds to the number of moves. No, number of moves has to be greater than 0, meaning it is greater than 0. It's picking up a button on the board should not be adding to the number of moves, though. Okay, I lied. So we're gonna bring you back just to see how I goof this up. I wanted to just remove the moves, and yet I've somehow made it more difficult for myself to do that. So the number of moves does not change, but it does get rid of the removes. Okay, well, this is just checking to see if the number of... when you pick up a button on the board, if the number of moves is greater than 0. Which was important for... Okay, well, and then we do the removes. Because this is, I want to get rid of the ability to pick up a button on the board. So, but then this caused issues with something else. There's the Portal 2 Community Edition currently being worked on. I think it's a mod that does some visual improvements and more tools for creating levels. So once that releases, there may be more good community-made Portal levels. That might be something somewhere floating around in the ether. Because I remember distinctly making a level for Portal 2 based on the thing for a class. I remember making a level for a class. My files? Files you've posted? Hey, wow. A Rube Goldberg machine. That's I don't remember this at all. This must have been like 2011, 2012 though. Four unique visitors. Kind of wild. This is why I'm working on this game here, because if I go back into the past, ta-da, here's a Rube Goldberg machine. Like, absolutely wild. My life has been leading entirely to this. Okay, so now if I try to move you... Okay, now the number of moves is... Okay, so now we try let's do it. Let's roll here. Go to the next one that gives you a move. That seems unrelated. Oh, there's not enough stuff in the deck because I just deleted a thing from the deck without adding to the deck. I feel like it should be... Okay, so that's working, but then I try to add something. Okay, huh? Great, I have broken everything by doing this. Problem is I have one move, which will let me move a thing. And that's not what I want. Here. No, it's when you're picking up a UI button, right? When you pick up a UI button, it's checking the number of moves? Or no? I mean, it didn't take me long to make this, and it's gonna take me so much longer to tweak it. Okay, the issue being, you can move a button, right? Yes. So I don't want you to be able to move a button. Well, like I said, so that's when you release a button, it should just delete it then. Because it's going off the moves rather than the removes, but the problem with that is that when I add a button... Because in this, I wanted you to actually be able to add a button. Yeah, and then picking is going off of the number of removes. Well, then that means I could do the number of moves being 0 again. I'll get around to I'll figure this out somehow eventually, kind of, sort of, maybe. I just wanted to mess with the color palettes because I wanted to mess with the screenshots because I wanted to mess with the Steam page. That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay, you can pick this up, and then you can sort of place it. Why are you able to place it? How did I done goof this so bad? It didn't score enough. Hey, I gotta check my scoring system too. It's all broken and on the floor. Okay, so now I have a move, which does let me move a button. It's not what I want, and I don't want it to be adding to the moves anyway. Except for when you pick up a UI button. Oh, which I guess means I just need to get rid of it here, but I just need to not. It's going off the number it removes when you pick up a button anyway. And then it's placing a button on the board. It should just not let you pick up a button. It's two different scenarios. There's this button that's spawning through the UI. Also, it is ad break. Maybe I'll step away and let the ads run and try to think. Yeah, problem is you should be allowed to pick up a button so that you can delete a button, but you also should be able to place a button when you have a new button through the UI button stuff. The issue being, if you pick up a button to remove it, then you remove the button instead. It's like, wait a second. Ta-da. Instead of when placed off the board, okay, let me get rid of that. Let's say, actually, wait a second. This is remove a selected button on the board. So this is the number of removes. Then we go back to over here and say remove a button when placed on the board. Place off the board. Something about held item. held item equals grid space. So instead of that. Your held item wasn't even set to anything. There we go. Okay, so now when you click... So now when you click on a button on the board, instead, it will just delete it. I did need to just step away for a second and take a break. Okay, so now if I try to place a button on the board, it does it. If I try to click a button to pick it up, it moves the other button. Great. Why did you flippin' move the other button? Because it was the held item. So then I click the button, and that deletes it. I gotta place this on the board, it does that. Why are you letting me pick it up again? Should not be able to pick it up again is the issue. Oh, the moves? Should not be able to pick it up again. Why are you letting me pick it up again? Dang it. Okay, wait. Board hand size. But then the deck has a certain number of flipping things to it, right? I is less than the board hand size. The board hand size should be less than the number of items in the deck at this point, right? Or no? Well, I guess it should be the deck size, unless the... Well, I guess I can do a quick check here, then. Feels like there's a better way to do the math here, but just for now, if the deck size is less than the board hand size, so the deck dots count dots, there we go. It's less than the board hand size, and the board hand size is equal to the deck dot count. So that if you have less than what it's trying to put on the board in your deck, then it'll just put whatever's in there. That doesn't feel right, but whatever. I don't. We're still just prototyping. Okay, so now I try to delete a button, it does it. If I try to move a button onto the board, it does it. If I try to remove that button, it lets me do that. It shouldn't be letting me pick it up. I don't understand. Okay, and then... Why did you not score well? You should have scored just fine. Okay, so now if I try to remove... It says I have no removes, but... So then I can't. But if I put something on the board... Because it's the held item... It looks like it's on the board, though. It looks like it's snapping to the board. placing a button on the board, number of moves. Yeah, because this isn't even worried about the number of moves anymore. It's just worried about the number of removes, and the number of removes was 0. And only if the number of removes is greater than 0. Not greater than or equal to greater than 0. So it shouldn't be getting to negative 0. Negative 0. Negative 1. Dagnabbit. Shouldn't be getting less than 0 into negative 1. And it's only the button that I place on the board is allowing me to pick it up again. Which it should not be allowing me to pick it up again, because when I try to go pick it up again, it should be saying here that it's not, it should be deleting it. Or I guess not deleting it, because... But that, yeah, because then it's no longer a UI button. Once it gets created, it's a different thing. And then it's determining if it's placing the button. But this is once the button is placed here, then it should say the held item. Oh, and then at the end here, held item is null. That got moved because I was moving stuff around. Hopefully, this will still let me remove and move. Okay, now, if I go to remove a button, it lets me do it. If I go to remove another button, it doesn't let me do it. If I go to add a button, it lets me do it. If I go to remove that button, it doesn't let me do it. If I go to roll over all those buttons that I just did, something like that. I didn't do the first button, but that's okay. So now if I get rid of this button, and then if I roll over, if I place this button, if I try to pick it up, there we go, okay. And now I can just hide the moves UI, so I'm not doing that anymore. Okay, so now if you click a button, you can remove the button, and then you can drag a new button onto the board. You cannot move any buttons. Okay, so now we mess with the color palettes. So instead of this, flag the colors. That's what we're doing now. Okay. So then I can mess with the screenshot stuff. Because that's what I wanted to do here, was just see... This doesn't let me see the flipping page. Like the... Yeah, this does not have a store admin. Because it said it broke when I bought it, and I'm like, I don't like that. I don't know how to change that. I don't remember what the error was either. Yeah, type a game. Save. So it should give me a store page though, right? To mess with? Yeah, because these have store admins. How do you set up the store admin? Because this is what I wanted to look at, was just the basic info, description, rating, early access, trailers. Yeah, setting up some of the links and stuff. Yeah, this is what I wanted to look at. And yet it won't let me do it for the latest thing. Oh, there we go. Okay. There, create the store. Okay, that's the link I did not click on correctly. Okay. Complete the following checklist and then submit your store to the page for review. Yeah, okay. That's what I wanted to look at. This. Made the textures. Congrats. Okay, now this. But now it's not saying it. There it is. Okay. Boy, did that take a bit. So this is or is not the page, yes or no? So... Okay, I mess with that later. Want to see the textures? Sure, yeah. Uploaded them. They look sick, not gonna lie. The play button also looks great. Yeah, no, feel free if you've got links to your sweet textures made in PowerPoint or whatever other program you happen to use. I always love checking out other people's stuff. Yeah, I've also got my Discord. If you ever, if you're a Discord kind of person, I know a lot of people like a Discord. Well, I think it's a lot of people who are looking to solicit some kind of commission, like a Discord, but there we go. I did not remember what the icon was. Yeah, okay, sometimes it just blocks when somebody new comes into the Discord, and I'm like, is that because they're a bot, or what? Hard to tell. Nobody liked my thing that I posted on my game update. That's fine. I was surprised I got any kind of clicks on the last one that I did. Okay, so this is not going to say. Or rather, I'll just come back. We'll just worry about this. Because how to market a game has like a how to make a Steam page too, right? Wait, did it say how to market a game horse? That would make sense, but no, I'm good. I don't use this site for anything. It's a little small in here, but and that did not help me blow it up. Okay. I don't want to download it, but you're doing creds and not credits? I think credits might make a little more sense instead of creds, but that's just me. They're a little hard to read because the colors kind of blend together a bit, so. I like the font. The font looks good, and I think the orange works perfectly fine as a background color, but I think the darker green with the like bits of black. It's just the darker green, really. I think the yellow would be fine. It's the dark green blending into the black here that makes it hard to read. Oh, it's camouflage. It's supposed to be camouflage. Well, it's definitely blending in. The bright bits of yellow, I think, are visible. The rest of it is blending in. I think you either need a brighter background to make the darker bits stand out, or a darker background to make the lighter bits stand out. But you have a darker background for the lighter bits, but because you have a mix of light and dark. I think doing the camo just doesn't work for text. I think the camo looks cool. I don't know that it works for text. Or you do the outline thing, because that's what I'm doing here, is a lot of the, like, making sure that no matter what, whether it's a black background or a white background, because I have an outline, you can still read it no matter what. So it might also just be a matter of adding an outline. But right now, I think the contrast makes it a little hard to read. Is my impression of it. But I think the camo is a neat idea. But yeah, using a texture creator for hiding something for something you're supposed to read may not be the best idea. Yeah, no, this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly readable. And yes, you could add an outline too, but also depends on what you're trying to do. Yeah, the camo one was just a little too unreadable, but this is perfectly fine. And I guess you could try the camo with an outline and see if that works. I don't think it will, but you could try it. Okay, there was a how to make a Steam page, right? Which has like a good kind of like, here's the stuff that you... I think this, when should I post it? I thought he had a good list for like, okay, here's the... Yeah, okay, you know the genre of your game, yes. The art style's decided, yes. You have enough art to show off 3 unique environments. I'm still kind of getting there, but that's the color palette thing. Do I have other examples of other games that look... Because I don't know, I'm thinking of something like Railbound, where it's mostly just a color palette swap to show off different worlds. Although I guess this does probably show off different mechanics too. Yeah, okay. Because this shows off, here's just a basic level, here's a tunnel, here's gates, here's riders. And then a professionally made capsule that I still need to get. That I still need to do. I need to ask somebody about that. And then a trailer that shows off gameplay, which I do have enough for gameplay, but... Do I have 15 seconds of game footage yet? I have 15 seconds of game footage up on my Discord that I just posted, like, yesterday. Oh, there we go. I beg for interactions, and I get interactions. Would you look at that? Is that 15 seconds, actually? It probably is. Is it... See, now, is it 15 seconds of good, actual, usable, like, game trailer-y kind of footage? No. But is it 15 seconds if the game is running? Yes. There, see? That's, I posted it on social media. Nobody cared because it's not, you know, not entirely a workable, usable thing, but... Yeah, there will need to be a lot of tweaking. I gotta figure out something with these shadows, too. Because I think my models look perfectly fine. I think the lighting is okay. It's just the shadows are jank AF. I don't know why Unity is deciding that that's what we're doing here. Oh, I just need 15 seconds of game footage. Was this Lone Wolf? This is something different than... Because I thought it was, what's his face from Indie Games something or other? Clemmy Indie Games? I think he was saying, hey, I'm looking for games too. But I think those are... I think he was looking for released games. Best indie games, Clemmy. Yeah, I think he was looking for games that are releasing next year. Yeah, okay. I mean, is it asking for 15 seconds of good gameplay or just 15 seconds of gameplay?
fight me or join me instead.
Wait, is this the guy working on Kook? This looks like Kook. Yeah, okay. No, having trouble hearing me over the music. It's set at the lower end. Get better ears, I guess. It's not because I was like, it's not cranked up to the usual like what I have for whatchamacallit. Oh, unless my microphone's not picking up well. No, it's on my microphone. It should be on my microphone unless Windows did something stupid again. No, it's on my microphone. Okay. Kook is the anti-spam key. White does not look good. Are you trying the white outline or the, I think you sent the same link again. Yeah, you sent the same link again. My voice is at a lower end. Okay. Oh, it is. It is looking like it's not picking up as much. I wonder if I bumped something. There we go. There, maximum voice. Okay, maybe not. We'll talk a little less loud. This should be a little better. It's... Okay, well, I bumped my mic up a little more. Again. I put the volume down on the thing. And the... I'll adjust it when Brainoid shows up, or when somebody will come in and say, hey, I don't like your mic volume, and I'll say, okay, well, I'll tweak it, and then somebody else will come in and say, I don't like your mic volume either, and then I'll tweak it again. And then both people can say dual in stream avatars and deal with it that way. Okay, let's actually read what this says. I just need 15 seconds of your game footage to make a compilation plus indie showcase for games worked on in 2025. Submit your video, store a link, and a couple pieces of info about below any games you worked on in 2025. Please try to submit before December to ensure I have a couple time to compile your video. I compile all the videos in one big showcase. People show up on stream. I review the video showcase. I may or may not. That's my parents are showing up for the holidays. I don't know if I would be able to tune into that, but we'll see. It's because the quality was bad in the pic. Well, no, but I think the link is the same. It looks like you sent the same link, so if you had the white text or outline or something. Viewers note games they'd like to find more info about. I go to the Steam page of those games and watch full trailers for as many as time permits. The showcase and possibly the full stream will be uploaded. It's just because this just says games I worked on. I'm like, I worked on some games. They're Game Jam games, but I worked on them. I don't know if that counts or not. Oh, but you can edit images. Oh, okay. That's why you sent the link again. Oh, and it did update. That's better. It's definitely more readable like that, but it's... yeah, it does look a little odd. It kind of works, it kind of doesn't. I don't know, maybe you could do like a gray and do like in the middle between them, but... Or like, I think a black would probably be a better, because I think black would work. It's just because you have a darker background. So far, I think I like the yellow the best. I don't know, maybe you could even do the yellow as the outline color. I think I'm mostly with what Phil said, was that like using camo for a thing that you're trying to read is just an incompatible idea. Basically, looking for a way to help promote indie games that won't take too much time away from the developers. Lots of devs jumped on this 15 seconds of the indie game trend, so hopefully you've got 15 seconds lying around. But if not, feel free to pick out a subsection of your trailer or just a few short gameplay clips. Put your game name or logo in the video. Here's an example. Yeah, I was like, am I up to this point? No, not at all. I'm not too far away from it, but so we'll see. Did it say? That's when this is being showcased is on December 13th. But when is the submission date? Submit by... When's the submit by date? Okay, I guess I will just leave this link up then. We're just gonna keep updating it. I mean, that almost works. That's interesting. I'm always a little partial to the, like, stained glass look where you have a line between every single blob of color. It's always kind of interesting to me. Oh, it just says, please try to submit before December so that so I have time to compile the video. Okay. Okay, and I am following on here. Yeah, okay, these are for people who actually have their Steam pages up. I think I almost remember this one. Are these all still coming soon? Oh no, these are... Wow, these are all still coming soon from last year's showcase. Interesting. Yeah, Paper Clay. I watched the devlogs for this a bit, and never did actually pick up the game. Never did. I think I haven't even watched. I'm assuming there's been more devlogs that I've missed. Yes. Okay, hey, I've watched some of these videos. Why does it not say that I've watched any of them? I feel like it's got to be somewhere in here. It was a couple years ago that I fell off of watching the videos. Yeah, that kind of works. Yeah, because I think that's taking your yellow that was kind of working last time. Again, I think it's just using camo for the text. It just isn't working. But that's me personally. Do I have a store page yet? Does an itch.io page count? And this isn't even public. This is not even a public page. So I think I'd kind of be rushing to get some kind of public page up. But yeah, it did what Phil said. Like I said, it kind of works. Like it's not bad. I don't know. It's just pretty for me. It's just the camo as a button. Just does not. Well, yeah, no. Thanks for telling me about this because I did not see this on whatchamacallit. I guess I can add this to the because there's a couple other ones that I think the Game Your Future was looking for people, and then there's a showcase that we're trying to start up near me that is looking for stuff too, and I'm like, this is again, it always feels too early, where I'm like, oh, we'll try to submit this for MagFest, and then MagFest was just like, this is nothing. I'm like, well, yeah, but I was hoping the link would be a little more updated when you saw it, and this, you know, continues to be nothing, but okay, no, so there's a good amount of these that did actually come out. It's just the stuff at the top that has not come out. Okay. Fart Mania. Sokoban about finding a path through colors. I was like, colors and pathing. Sounds like it might be of interest to me. I did see some torso tennis in there too. Oh, Mech Tech. Yeah, Mech Tech is still coming along, I think. And okay, they did throw Kook in there too. Makes sense. I mean, that's probably it's the simplest. And sometimes the simplest is best when you're doing like UI. Like there's a reason why you don't get the crazy buttons and stuff. Yeah, I was watching the latest Jonas Tyroller video, and he was doing a look. It made a fun game out of a Chrome web plugin that says, "Can you guess which game is gonna actually do well?" And he definitely like there was one in the middle there.
I think you can guess the review count of a random game
Or something somewhere around in here. He looked at a puzzle game and was just like, I don't understand what I'm trying to do, and it was like, yeah, this is a yeah, it definitely gives you a good sense of like how well your game might sell. It's basically like 5 reviews. That's the good guess, is like 5 reviews. Unless you have a publisher, which then bumps it up to like double digits. Like 10 reviews. Okay, it does say ad break. I can also crank down my desk. I think I've been standing for this entire time. Yep, okay, I'm gonna sit for a bit. So, wait, I got my...
Station. Cosmic Radio Station. Cosmic Radio
feel like there was another like colorful puzzle thing in here too that this was a good video. This was an interesting like I'll be very curious when he releases the plugin. It's kind of sad that you can kind of guess. There's some of these you could just look at a screenshot and be like, nope, that's a 0. Oh, nope, that's a 3. That's a 5. It's like, especially when you can tell somebody put in a lot of work as well. But I did think that was interesting that when he looked at a, colorful grid puzzle thing like this and said, I can't immediately tell what to do, that it was like a nope. Which makes me a little afraid for my game, because I don't know if looking at... Well, I guess these are old screenshots, but still looking at the, which I guess I could do some new screenshots now here too, but... Okay. Well, and then is it kook with an exclamation point, or just like kook? No, just kook. Yeah, I think putting a logo, because that's what happens with the Game Awards and stuff, is that like you can look away from a trailer, especially when they like whip through trailers really quick and they do the like, here's the logo, here's the game, and then by the time you get to the game, it's like, okay, I didn't catch what the name was. And it is nice when they have just the logo in the corner or the name in the corner to say, okay, this is what the game is. The fluffin' heck was I doing? I was... Okay, I fixed the bug, so now you can delete buttons, and you could still place buttons. So I say get rid of you, and I want a yellow 2 here, and then I try to do that. There we go, okay. And then we score the yellow 2s, and then say, I don't know about this blue one. Okay, and I did get rid of that bug too. Yay. Oh, there's a 4-3-2. Which I don't actually have anything for scoring a run. Which I should probably do. We'll get to it at some point. Okay, but those two things are now working. I could do a web build. I think I'm going to mess with color palette stuff, though. The first Steam game I have planned to release, I've selected from my Game and Dice, not because I'm most excited about making that one, but because it's the one where I have ideas on what to do for marketing. So currently the most marketable idea. It's a very good place to start. That's speaking of how to market a game, if you are kind of not working on a big project, he did a post very recently that was kind of like, here's the game to make right now. Yeah, this. Yeah, optimistic view that indie games are in the golden age. Yeah, where he says the games to be making right now are... Yeah, the Great Conjunction. Everything is number go up on Friend Slop, number go up on horror, number go up on idle games. Yeah, idle incremental games. Yeah, some of it for rage games. I think he did. This is one that's yeah, but Friend Slop. It's the multiplayer co-op thing. It's the thing to be doing right now. Or an idle game. Is kind of what he's saying. Yeah, and then he says you could take a break from your big project. Which is why it's so tempting for me to say, maybe drop another project. And I'm like, no, it's what I've done this entire time, is just jump between projects. And I'm like, no, let's get a Steam page up for this project. And then that wish list velocity will also tell me, does anybody think this is interesting or care about this at all? So, yeah, once I have some income, I can start working on games that I'm actually more excited about. That's what I keep saying. I've thought that for quite a while, that I'm like, I should just compromise and say, no, we're gonna, like, well, it used to be like, okay, baby, I'll go do some not safe for work game stuff, because I've done a little bit of that and had some success with it, but that's kind of gone out the window now, too, because of the, censorship stuff. Like, the stuff that was getting a lot of views no longer does. Yeah, because that was gonna be like a fallback. It's like, okay, well, I could do some not safe for work games, and even that fallback is kind of gone now at this point. I think the one thing I was thinking for doing, like, starting up some more business stuff would be, like, Where's Waldo stuff, because I have that pixel character creator, and I've had some success posting those Where's Waldos. That. Because I was also thinking about that. I could throw that on merch pretty easy too. That's the other thing. It's like I could throw a Where's Waldo on a piece of merch. Oh, I was gonna do some pixel art again. I want to finish Borderlands 4 first though. That's kind of the goal. Is finish Borderlands 4, then I can do some pixel art of Borderlands 4. Man, someday. Someday I'll actually someday I'll release a game. Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll make something small enough that I finish it, kind of, sort of, maybe. I don't know, I've got all these game jam projects that I've gotten, like, I've fairly finished and stuff too. But the first game will be local and online multiplayer party battle kind of game. Do I still have that voxel art car that was in the one image? Most likely. I have it lying around somewhere. What was I looking for? I was looking for my Where's Waldos. Yeah, I was gonna say, I haven't posted like a Where's Waldo in forever, but these did tend to get likes and comments and stuff. There he is. There he is. I mean, I have fun with it myself, where I'm like, oh, there he is. I think there were some new Where's Waldos, actually, which is wild. They had it for so long, and then they recently did some more new Where's Waldo stuff. Yeah, I miss doing some pixel art stuff. Okay, wait, you were asking about a voxel art car. Yeah, do I still have this? I'm pretty sure I do. Yeah, we were trying to do a game about boats and using voxel art. It was like, yeah, no, that doesn't really make sense, does it? That doesn't really match up. Okay. Yeah, I think I still have some form of all of those different projects somewhere. But okay, color palette stuff. I was gonna try swapping out the color palette. Which I guess I could steal stuff from Blungeroo too. Cause that I think the Steam page for Blungeroo is probably also a good place to start in terms of because this is pretty close to what I'm hitting with my game here too. So it's not 2D, it's 3D, but and I did mess with some color palette stuff. I think it just doesn't swap between anything right now. Okay, yeah, how are you doing the color palette again? guess that's the other thing, is I need something other than buttons. Oh, maybe Bellatra is another one to look at. I guess Bellatra has different screens that I'm like, I'm not really up to that point, and that maybe is the thing that I need to do. I'm just so surprised when I went poking through this that they don't have a picture of the store in the like the in-game store. They're like, okay, here's the playing the game, here's using a tarot card, and then here's another playing the game, and then they have just like, here's the collections of things. It's like, here's all the stuff you can collect. It's like, here's the jokers you can collect, here's the arcane packs, here's the playing a boss. But the actual, like, here's where you buy new jokers, and here's where you buy stuff, it didn't actually have. It's a little harder because this is like a finished, fully featured game, and that what I kind of need is the like unfinished, not fully featured game, the like initial Steam page. Actually, wait, I guess so. Is Ploink on Steam or is it still just on Itch? Because that I think is kind of in the same spot. It is on Steam. Okay, so they did get up to the point of putting it on Steam. Okay, and they don't have a bunch of different color palettes. They have the initial board, and they have some builds and some numbers popping up. Wait, is that even Fridoka in terms of the numbers there? That is a fun trailer. That is a good trailer. Yeah, okay, so they don't have a lot of... So this might even be a better just spot to look at. Which doesn't have a lot of color palette stuff. But I think I have an ability to switch out the color palette, so this is probably what I should do. And then it's just a matter of making sure that it shows off the different mechanics. Yeah, like this has a teleporter. This has the kind of wall bumper thing. And this has the switching bumper. Okay, but the question was, how am I doing the color palette? Because can I switch the color palette with a button? So the color manager is get the current palette and then get the current palette. And then set the color manager, set the color manager, set the color manager, color manager. Set the color manager. Yeah, so it is going off of whatever the current palette is. Do I have it switching the palettes? So the color manager, do you have... There's a set current palette. So I could randomize it. Sure, let's do that. Will there ever be more than one color manager? Probably not. I don't. I'm not confident about anything ever, so I don't want to say that there will only be one color manager, but I think I do want it to be like a game manager. That's why it says manager in the title. So there should not be more than one color manager, which is, I guess, static then? I guess, like, the game manager should probably be static, the color manager should probably be static, if that's what you're asking, but... Okay, so now color manager dot set the colors of the current palette to a random palette. And then do you have a set of color palettes, probably? A list of color palettes? I thought I had 2 different ones, right? So maybe palettes? Palette? Okay, what is palette? No. Okay, game manager here has a color palette. Has palettes in the color manager. Oh, so the color manager has the color palettes. In that case, you could make it static or a singleton. It wouldn't need to assign and pass it around everywhere anymore. It's, yeah, okay. That's, I'm not, I haven't, well, I think it was one of those things of like, be careful with static and be careful with singletons, so then I just never use them, pretty much. But maybe I should learn how to actually get better at code. So, static. Is that not... That gets rid of the ability to do mono behavior? Which is probably going to cause other issues. Yeah, I was going to say, I do need the start, though. And the update. I'm not going to worry about it right now, I think. My brain is not in it right now. Okay, wait, you have a list of color palettes. Okay, no, we're going to just say random... So, public, random color palette. And then set the current color palette to palettes. So random... Okay, wait, palettes, I had it right. Palettes at, and then random dot range between 0 and palettes dot count. There we go. Okay, now you can say color manager dot random color palette. Okay, and then because I have a color palette in here, hopefully that'll also give me... Yeah, and then maybe I could snag another color palette or 2 from low spec. And then when I play the game, hopefully kind of sort of maybe it gives me... Oh, oh ho ho. The background color was supposed to change some too, though, right? I don't know if I'm a huge fan of this color palette. I guess I could switch out the font. That'll really change up how this feels. Yeah, the lighting's a bit wonk. I think I remember having that problem last time, though, was that it was doing this, like, stark white background no matter what. Which was because of the main camera having a color? But I thought I changed the background color of the camera, right? Yeah, exactly. For camera color and background light color. Okay, but I think part of this is what I wanted to steal was here. Maybe I shouldn't take all coding advice from you. Haven't learned coding at university, but mostly online by trial and error, so solutions might not always be good ones. Yeah, but I think you're still also actively learning code. I am. I learned stuff 10 years ago and then have not done a great job of keeping up with the latest and greatest. So, my stuff might also be out of date, too. Color palettes on low spec. That's what I was looking for. Low spec. Well, then how many colors do I really want or need is the question. This is not color palettes. There we go, palettes. But then how many colors do I actually need? Well, it's like, what am I trying to accomplish here? Trying to make it feel like it's a different world. Which I know they do this a little bit with some of these decorations here, too. And patterns. I guess there's different patterns and different decorations. And I don't have different patterns. And I don't have different decorations. I know I did that with Bomb Squad. Which that might also be. Because that's... how did I do that one? Yeah, that's what that is, where I just changed the background color and I changed the decorations. Well, no, I guess I changed the main level color, the background color. Oh, and the characters are also switched out. Yeah, I don't have an easy way to do that, do I? Where I switch out the top color, the top layer color, and the side layer. Yeah, I'm still pretty proud of this project. It's just a bit much trying to do an entire card battler. This will probably still be a lot as well, but... Oh, okay, and I did do that. Oh, and I do have a different grid space color. Or I don't have a different grid space color. So maybe we do this. So yeah. Does that actually change the grid spaces? Did I actually add that as a thing? I don't recall if I did. It'd be nice if I did, but I don't recall if I did. And then this is where we run into maybe don't have it just completely random. Or maybe I did, because I think that is different. It is a little more of like a parchment kind of color. Yeah, this lighting I don't think is great for showing off the colors, but that's okay. I think it would help a lot if the... Oh, I could change the direction of the lighting, too. Wait. That would definitely change the feel of the level. And I am changing the main camera background color, and it just doesn't seem to be switching it up much. But that's okay. Well, okay, and the way I was doing the color palettes here is just 1, 2, 3, 4. I will count the characters as a fourth color. Yeah, so the characters are different, and then 1, 2, 3. I guess the decorations kind of maybe is a different color. So it's kind of switching out 5 colors as opposed to switching out like... Yeah, because I think right now I'm switching it to an entirely different like, game color palette. What does a match 3 puzzle game do? Like if I look at Candy Crush or something, how did they show off, hey, we've got like a bunch of levels? Yeah, okay, so it's different sets of so yeah, the way they're doing it is showing off. Okay, yeah, like this has no greens. This has just orange and yellows and browns. Yeah, and this has no reds in here. Yeah, this also has no reds. I guess the background's not changing, it's just the level layout and the colors. But it's still limiting the color palette a lot there. So... yeah, because if I... what happens if I disable these? Is it still going to pull the color palette, or no? If those are disabled? It is still going to pull the color palette, because what I kind of want to take those out of the list. Or rather, I want to keep the one in the list, it's just... okay, well, give me another color palette. And then give me like a... yeah, I think it's not one of these things. It's not like an actual switch out all the colors in the color palette kind of thing. It's a... yeah, like this. To say, okay, I need like a 4 color. Or 5 color or something. To do max of... like 4 colors maybe? Some of these are trying to go for the contrast though of... no, this kind of works. And then there's no easy... so then if I look at this as... I was gonna say, yeah, there is a way to download it as a PNG image, and then I don't know if there's an easy way to parse it in Unity to say... this is the, okay, so if I do something like this... I lied. Give me the low spec link. That's really what I want. The course I'm taking is creating a full top-down RPG. I want to change quite a bit once it's done, though. For example, changing the camera from top-down to standard third-person. And if you're okay with that, change the main camera from the one provided with the Gnome model I made. Yes, if you want to make me the center of an RPG, that's fine. I'm pretty I ain't too picky about what happens to my character there. I mean, you made the model. There's not a... yeah, main character, not main camera. Yeah. But you are free to use me as a main character for whatever devious nonsense you want. Okay, I guess there's maybe a slight limit to that, but pretty permissive. Yeah, I don't have like a not safe for work tag for, because I know there are the VTubers that have their like safe for work tag and a not safe for work tag, but I don't think I have any kind of fan art tag. Safe for work or not safe for work. I don't know what I would do for like the pun on either of those either. I know that's kind of the thing, is to do that as some kind of pun. Okay, but 4 colors. Those colors being from here. Yeah, that's one of those, like, it would be kind of a fun feature to be able to import your own color palette. Would not be a necessary feature at all whatsoever, but it would be fun. Okay. On a roll, copy paste it. Give me like 2 seconds. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. 10 seconds. I lied. Okay, there we go. This is the main title. Looking pretty good. I see settings just getting a little cut off by whatever this extra thing is here. As much as I said I didn't like the camo, it does feel like it's missing a little something. Because it might also be like the text and stuff too. I don't know. Oh, it is an ad in it. We'll do break before I... I thought Pagorli was here spamming things, but no, it's a different Phil. Who's spamming? Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff I missed. Had an ad for Firefox on Firefox. That's hilarious. Had an ad for a TwitchCon thing or something, like Twitch Turbo. Like max 2 years, but Turbo's been there as long as I've been at Twitch. I was gonna say Twitch Turbo, I think, has been around for quite a long time. I've thought about getting it, especially because I don't know. This is the thing. It's like I don't know if I can use the money I've gotten from Twitch to put it into Twitch Turbo. That's what I would like. They say you could use the Twitch, or you can use the money that you got on Twitch to spend it on Twitch when you haven't reached the cap of money, but is extend the rate command the track doesn't even look longer? It should be. It might also be the way the camera clips. It does actually, like, if the coaster is going too close to the camera, it'll just disappear. So it might be a camera clipping issue. I've definitely had it when I load up the roller coaster and it's like this tiny little thing because it goes directly into the edge of the culling. Okay, but back to the feedback on this. This is getting cut off. And then otherwise, it's very clean. It's a little plain. I guess I don't really get what Tom the Tilter is in terms of. I'm assuming this brown is making me think more like cowboy kind of stuff. But. And I guess maybe the camo is making me think of like some kind of soldier or something. But. I do think the yellow is a lot cleaner than the camo. And that is one thing. But the main menu don't. A little bit of background texture. Yeah, I think there's a good amount of games that do like, here's a picture and then a main menu kind of thing. I keep it fairly simple in that regard. I think there's a fair amount of indie games that do the like, here's a flood of items on the main menu too. I know Backpack Hero does that. I know Torso Tennis does that. I know I've done that for a few of my games. Like, here's just a flood of items. I think Bomb Squad, I had it fairly simple. Like, I just did a list of buttons that pops up. I do need to do a main menu for this game at some point too. That'd be good. I don't know how I want to do the buttons. Just because I have 3D stuff for everything, it's like it almost feels like I do 3D buttons for the main menu, but... Oh, wait, actually... Plungeroo... Yeah, it does this kind of thing for the buttons. I guess that's also dependent on the angle that it's at, too. The way it's doing that. And I think Balatro does the same kind of buttons. With the, yeah, the kind of outline on the bottom. Or the kind of shadow on the bottom. Does this have a button that I can look at? I guess those are buttons, so these don't really do like shadowy buttons. Oh, so what happens if I do... So like a prefab for the UI button variant? No, that's that button. So this main menu button. Instead, if I do white instead of black. And then I do another image. And make it a UI sprite. And make it there, and then I scooch it down a little bit. Dadgummit. I want it to be behind. I think if I can't pull it out of here. Gee, thanks. Often doing my simple 3D scene with a rotating camera in the middle for the main menu, but the games are also 3D games. Yeah, okay, that also works. I think there are some games that do the, like, here's a main scene, but... UI I'm making makes it look like it was made in Roblox, especially because of the font. Yeah, I know the Fredoka font is... I think it's popular for a lot of things, but I think it is known as, like, the Roblox font there, but... Well, and now you got me curious what the actual UI looks like on Roblox. And I feel like I am kind of aiming at the same target in terms of, kind of simple and sort of kid-friendly, but... How about, like, a gameplay screenshot? You got gameplay? You actually got what the game looks like? I'm gonna sleep now because it's 2 a.m. already for you. Yeah, that makes sense. It is the 8 o'clock. It is time to go to bed. Oh, see, that's what the UI... That's, at least this is what it's telling me is the UI for Roblox, which looks more like an in-game editor kind of thing than I... But yeah, most likely it is the font. It's very Roblox. Which I'll agree with because it is, so... It's a little, like I said, I'm towing the line because I like mobile games and I like the aesthetic of mobile games, at least in some like regards, in some mobile games. But I know a lot of people are put off by that kind of thing, so. But I don't know. My aesthetic has just gotten cleaner and simpler and cleaner and simpler as it's gone along. So. Give me some Supercell. That's also like the aesthetic that I like a lot. Man, I'm a little sad about Squad Busters. Because I think the core idea is interesting. And I think the gameplay was fun for a while. And then they just couldn't pull it together into something interesting. I did write that down as an idea of, like, remaking Squad Busters to see if I could make it work. Like, the absolute cockiest thing you could do. Say, yeah, this company that has made so much money on their games couldn't make this work. I, by myself, can make this work, right? It's not screenshots. It's never screenshots of the dumb dad blasted mother flippin' game. Why? I want to know what the game looks like. Yeah, okay. I am aiming fairly Brawl Stars as well. Oh, and then even here, if I click on this, it's not going to show me actual screenshots of the flippin' game. It's just going to give me... Well, okay, this does give me UI button sort of stuff. Which is just a white text with a black shadow drop. I guess there is a bit of screenshot in these. You're supposed to be layered under this, dagnabbit. Okay, well, what if we get rid of the button? And then do this again. And then say, actually, that. There we go. And then you... Okay, just go straight up 5. There we go. Okay. So how does that look? I could make it a little bigger to get it like a full outline there, but... Actually, that does do a bit. I guess it does have a little bit of an outline on it. I don't know if it's supposed to. Maybe we do just like a gray then instead. So the background instead of black, give it just a bit of somewhere in there. Maybe like a 200, because I like my nice round numbers. Although I do the exact opposite with the followers on Twitch. I'm like, oh, let's aim for the numbers that aren't 0 and 5. Any numbers that are not 0 and 5. Okay, I think I will actually need to have the button move up and down when I do that. But yeah, that actually does, that matches the aesthetic. And because the outline on the text still is pretty clean and clear. Well, it kind of matches the aesthetic, the issue being that... Oh, and yeah, I don't have this tilted at all anymore. I had the camera just slightly... Well, no, I'm not messing with the camera tilt right now because that'll mess with the positioning of the mouse when I place buttons, which I don't want to mess with just yet. Okay, so... Do I have another color palette, and is it switching between... I added another color palette, but I did not add another color palette to the list of color palettes. So color palette, color palette. And then see what happens if I do this for color palette. And then we just refresh it. It didn't seem to reset the, Okay, it doesn't seem to be doing the thing that I thought it would be doing. Okay, resetting the scene in Unity does not seem to be working super duper well. Okay, what it really needs to be doing is setting the background colors and stuff too. Yeah, because when I'm really thinking of switching out color palettes, I'm thinking of the like rail bound. The background color changes. Well, I guess technically the color palettes for everything change. I think that's the lighting changing the colors of the rails. So I guess the rail color's not changing. But the boards are changing, the background color is changing, the color of the carriages are changing. Okay, so what I need you to be doing is changing out the color of the main camera. So solid color, background white. Oh, and then when I look at the color palette for view, camera color. Oh, I'm not changing out the camera color there. Okay, well then give everything the same kind of wash to it and see how that feels. Possibly. And then here... Maybe it's like dark purple, I guess. We'll just try that and see. Because that's really what I'm trying to do, is get the feel of the level to be different by switching out the colors. Okay, as much as I like that one, there we go. Okay. So that is changing out the background color, background camera color. And then I could steal the colors from like Bomb Squad or something there too. Hmm. Yeah, I do need the position of that to be changing. Oh, how dark do you look if you're... Yeah, there is something a little off about that, so the camera color, I think, should not be part of the palette. Well, I guess something like Balatro, the actual color of the cards does not change, it's the background. So what is changing for the background on Balatro? Or what is the color palette swapping on Balatro? The answer being the background and the side menu color are changing. Oh, okay, this is, yeah, no, the background of that is changing too. Yeah, because this is a lot of blue there. I guess I could play some Balatro too. I don't know where I'm at with the achievements on Steam Balatro. I've mostly been playing on my phone at this point. 36 million. Gee whiz. It's like, yeah, local thunk, just take your time. Nobody is expecting anything anytime soon. Okay, wait, what about, like, Hollow Knight, though? Okay, wait, let's do the Steam estimator run. Because both Hollow Knight and Hollow Knight Silk Song, I'm like, that's gotta be, like, insane amounts of money, right? 105 million. And then Silk Song in the, like, month or two, 86 million. That's a pretty good attach rate for the sequel then, jeez. In what, September 4th? It's been a couple months. So they did 86 million. And then Hollow Knight, 105 million. Wow, so in a couple months, they've made a good chunk of the money that they made with the last game. That seems crazy. Okay. That's looking better. Added some texture to the background. Yeah. I think the one thing that's a little scary with the background texture is because you always have to have something that pulls the, like, text out from the background texture. Like, a lot of times I do, like, a brighter text and then a darker background, so that no matter what the actual, like, things are in the background, they're not, like, overlapping. Because I think the little specks here are kind of running into this. It's why I tend to use a lot of outlines and tend to use a lot of shadows and tend to use a lot of dark stuff, because, like, here, it's exactly why I have this, like, black on the white text here. Is because no matter what's in the background, you can still see it. So. But that's just me in general. I don't know what this is. I don't know what these side things are. I think that's another one of those, like, you're trying to add texture to the buttons that doesn't necessarily need it. Or maybe it just needs to be balanced so that it's on both sides. If I look up, like, a main menu for a game, does it have a good, like, example? But you're also asking me, who's done a lot of very simple... How about a game main menu? I tend to aim for very simple and bright and colorful in a lot of cases. This is what pops up when you say a game main menu. But I think this kind of does illustrate why I'm saying like some kind of background is because no matter how busy this scene is with all of the city stuff, you still have this background on the blacklist here, so you can still read blacklist no matter what. Or, as they do here, where they put the outline, so no matter what is in the background, you can still read it. Yeah, I think that's a lot of these games separate the... Yeah, okay. Or like here, they do a very simple background so that they can do a logo on top of it. Yeah, like this has a drop shadow and stuff. So I think the busier the background, the more you have to make sure you separate the text from the... Yeah, so like when you have a busier dirt background, you have to make sure the text is separated. Or you could just cut off the dirt background so that the text has its own space. Because that's like what Into the Breach does here, is says, okay, this is the space for the text. Yeah, because I think here they also do... Kind of hard to tell, but I think they do have like an outline or a shadow on the text here to make sure that you can still read it. Yeah, like here, I'm not huge on this, but they do also, you can tell they have a shadow. They have darkened to the background a bit to make the white text stand out. Yeah, I don't know if I have like a favorite main menu kind of thing. Like, this kind of thing I'm not, because this is a pixel size inconsistency thing. That's the real problem with this, is that the pixel font here is an entirely different pixel size than the background. Yeah, even here, when they have a very dark background with white text, they still did. Here's a black box with a white text. Yeah, you kind of gotta make sure that your text is separated from your background by either making the background simple or just putting the text in a box. So, does the play button look better? Yeah, I mean it's. I think some of it is like, why the gradient, and not like a. It's a question for you, for your aesthetic, for your game, is why do you want to have a gradient or not? Like, if you do want to do kind of like that, like a dirt or something, then that makes a little more sense. But I think then at that point you'd want to do more of like a stone looking button or something as well. But I think when you have even small questions, if you can point it all back to, okay, it's all in service of the same bigger thing, then that does help to keep the aesthetic really pulled together. Okay, let's do some more random 4-color. It's only 8:30. Oh, it's because I didn't start earlier. Okay. Low spec. I wanted to pull some more color palettes. Just random ones. This is another one that's kind of purple-ish. Well, and even here, because right now, the color palette is in service of just trying to make things look different. When I really should be thinking about, okay, the color palette is to say, you're going to a different world, you're going to a different boss, you're going to a different level or something. So this is not the way to be doing this, but this is mostly as a test. Yeah, because that is what I was doing with Bomb Squad and stuff too. There's like I had the different types of characters in different environments. Yeah, and I think that is a lot of games signal like, okay, there's a new mechanic because you're in a new world kind of thing. I think right now I don't have that new mechanic to point to, but... Well, I guess I do have... I guess that is next step is to add the items that look like stuff. Yeah, so much like How to Market a Game was pointing at the... And again, give me the darkest color. I really should have a fifth color that's separated out from this, but that's okay. What happens if I do that? That is gonna look a little off though, but... same link, fix the buttons. Oh, or it is a different link? It is a different link. Yeah, I think that does look cleaner. Yeah, because I just didn't know what that other thing was on the side and how that was. And I think the gradient actually does work. I wasn't sure about the gradient, but I think it actually does work to give this just a little more depth to it. So had to change the link. Okay. Well, we'll keep them both there just in case. But yeah, the last thing would just be make sure that this text is separated from this background, much like you have the buttons here. It doesn't have to be the same way, but just making sure it is separated. Yeah, I was gonna say, do I have instances of my games and what I've done for title screens? I guess this does say somewhat what I did here. I don't think I ended up actually using the yellow for the main menu here, but yeah, this is one of those ones where I had this. It's because I had the black and white background, that busy background. I did white text with the black outline. Yeah, and even here, you can't see because it's a black background, but there is an outline on these menu items. I'm so bummed I didn't do a clock roguelike. That would have been so much better. That would have been innovative. That would have been... I guess this doesn't have a main menu. This doesn't really... Yeah, I don't have an outline on my character. Oh, I did do a drop shadow. I could try doing like a... Looks like it doesn't have an outline right now. Okay, wait, where is me? It's a me. Okay, no, that's the capture. Where's the properties for this? No, not properties, rather. The... What's the flippin' thing? Filters. There we go. Filters. Shadow. Oh, it does have a shadow. Or it says it has a shadow. Can I add an outline? I thought, because I added like an outline to the text at some point, right? Or I thought I meant to add an outline to the text at some point. I do like my outlines. It just helps so much to separate things. Do I have an instance of the main menu here? No, I don't. Oh yeah, this is that font that I tried to make. I don't know that it entirely works. Yeah, this is old as heck. It does not have a, Yeah, there's some of these that don't even have menus, do they? Yeah, this doesn't necessarily have menu buttons either. Oh, and this is Brainoid. Brainoid did this. So these might be bigger, fancier. Oh, I guess this does have a main menu. Yeah, so even here, when these are separated in their own boxes, they have drop shadows. Yeah, okay, I didn't put this main menu together, but... yeah, in a lot of cases it is. Gotta keep them separated. Okay, how could you fix the hard to read title? Because I don't want to be confused with a button. Added something. Yeah, see, yeah, like adding the drop shadow, I think is, I mean, it kind of works. It's just because the background is particularly busy. Like, like I said, I think your two options are putting a box around it so that it's separated, or just kind of deleting the... like, if you could just remove the bits that are right next to the text here, like just turning the rest of that brown behind it, then that makes sure that that's... and I do think the drop text, the drop shadow does help to pull it out. It does give it some good depth. Oh yeah, it does say it's an ad. What was I testing? What was I doing? I was testing color palettes or something. That's that color palette. That's that color palette. I still like the very basic colors, because I am just a very basic. Whatchamacallit, a pumpkin spice latte. There we go. I think it's almost a little too late for pumpkin spice season, but... or is it? No, it is... oh, and then this is going to take forever to run. Which is why it's perfect for an ad. What was the music that I even put on here at this point? Okay, it is still this artist. Oh, I forgot to do this. Oh. That was a very good idea. Because it was about to move on to random nonsense. Random dancing. That's a show I haven't thought about in a long time. And I know that's one of those ones that are like, oh, we gotta milk the nostalgia and remake it. Although, as much as I have not thought about iCarly in a long time, I do still think about Gibby, because Noah Monk makes some good stuff. I still frequently listen to whatever the latest Noah Praise God is. Or Sad World, or whatever his latest music venture is. Or video venture, I suppose. Yeah, I think that's a bit much. I think I liked the drop shadow better. I think this super thick outline is a bit much. But yeah, I think it is a bit of a pain. But I think one of these, like the nicest answer is to just kind of have a zone around here where all of it does not have any rocks and it's just the dirt. I'm talking like if you can go into here and just clean it up to make this all brown instead of having the little bits of rocks in there. That might be the Wyatt, no. Excuse me if I redo that. Oh, weird. Okay, now OBS is gonna take it. There we go. But all I was saying is just if you make all of it brown and get rid of the rocks behind the background. Yeah, okay, yeah, I thought you did say you were sleeping. Had 2 possible button redesigns for you. Send them on Discord if you like one of them. Feel free to use or copy the style. Very simple, but look a little less like standard Roblox. Oh, okay, yeah. You're talking about switching out the text. No, see, because I'm happy with the Roblox look. So I was aiming for very bland. That was kind of the thing I was looking for, actually. You know, I went out of my way to pick the Fredoka. Yeah, no, this was direct message to me on Discord for buttons for me to use possibly. There we go. But at least can be seen there. But no, I am aiming for very abstract, very simple, very mobile kind of design. That was like a specific goal here. Because well, I guess Marble Drop has a bit more of like a steampunk aesthetic, possibly. Actually, what does Marble Drop have for like button? Like for UI. I guess this does have a bit more like texture. Yeah, because it's got the blueprints in the background. Because it doesn't really have any like buttons, any like major buttons you can look at. Yeah, this is a game that I remember being super cool. Yeah, see, this is kind of close to the aesthetic that I'm looking at. It's like wood block kind of puzzles. Like, I'm thinking like that baby shit is kind of the aesthetic. It might not be the best idea, but I don't know. I like abstract stuff, so I want it to be as simple and round and abstract as possible, kind of a thing. I think it makes it easier to see just the satisfying bits of it when it is very simple shapes and colors. But that's also why I'm using like Fredoka, is because it is like a very common basic font. So did it do a web build? Did it actually pop up with a new web build or no? Because I think it typically pops up when it's done, but unless it didn't. Did it say it? Did it? Build completed with the result of, oops. Gosh dang it. Okay, so no, that did not work. I'll try it again. I did switch to a different build of Unity because it was having issues running Unity. And it looks like it still is. Either that or the flippin' thing that blocks all the stuff there. So. And this is gonna take forever. Yeah, and then it's gonna do that. Okay, I was ready to call it quits and go to bed. I'm like, it's 8:30. I'm ready to... As if I got like a ton of stuff to do tomorrow. I finally don't have like a major appointment tomorrow. But I still gotta go to work. And I think I might go to the office, which sucks because that's forever away and a long drive. And what the flippin' heck are you? No! Don't. Okay, no, I guess we're not doing a new web build. We're not messing around with it. If Unity's gonna be busted and broken, then we're not messing with it. Man, I sorta kinda had some stuff to show off. Well, that's a future problem. For a future person. That is me, the future person. Hopefully. This is a sign. It is Betty Bye time. Is anybody here? Sounds like everybody is leaving and sleeping and stuff. The answer is... no. Nobody's here. There's no Pagorli here. There's no Phil here because Phil went to bed. There's no... a Polyglot because a Polyglot left to do animations or something. Nobody's here. I was like, is the number gonna go up to 3 now that I'm looking at my own stream or no? And the answer is, it's gonna jump up to 4 even. Yeah, okay. Or that's probably Pagorli saying, I'm not here. Way to jump up because Pagorli just suddenly showed up to say, not here. Let's see. I rated over there just the other day. Do I remember who this is? The best content. Not even just like content, but like the best content. Right now it's an ad. Anybody else streaming some software and game development? Oh, Tough Love Arena. I haven't thought about that in a long dang time. Are we? Is it? Oh, it's a Silk Song anyway. I'm not looking to. I thought it. Did it say what it was? Oh, it did say Hollow Knight Silk Song. I just didn't see it. Okay. So actually, no, I like the idea of Tough Love Arena. I haven't thought about this game in forever.
Color, but I'm excited to do stuff like this, where it's much more further
Is
away
this
from
still?
value, more of like an accent color.
Is this still around? Is this still
I thought this was
happening?
intentional. Apparently, this was just a typo by Savvy, but this one just having no streaks, I think, gives it a very distinct vibe. So definitely, we're keeping the door open on that palette stuff.
Okay, this looks like it's a different game and not Tough Love Arena. But I don't know. I'm not subscribed. Interesting. Okay. Well, let's go right over here
Table
with the nobody that's here.
Because
everybody went to bed.
Bad guy. No, Alistair's background is definitely different.
And then I will be back tomorrow with more game development.
They are definitely not that
Like I said, probably doing more screenshot
They're not
stuff
that
and like
bad of a guy.
I do want to think about getting a Steam page up. It would be cool.
Should looks like she's still Alistair's clothes, Loki, big fan of brown color.
And I'll be back at the regular time again, which will be nice.
Because they're not gonna want
We'll see.
Alistair very soon either.
Okay, yeah, it said
Alistair
4,
changed
that it's
again.
actually like,
In
nah.
appearance.
It
Gameplay
tricked
logic.
me. Somebody who is not here again.
Back to
So. Okay, but I check out a joke DM thing. I was like, I am kind of calling it quits and going to bed. Why y'all spamming stuff right now? I literally started up the raid so that I could go to bed. But I will click the thing on.
She does do the
Did you say on Discord?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I do see stuff on Discord.
Saying purple jacket.
But okay.
Why the white pants out of curiosity? It's
But
pretty
I'll be
cool.
back same time tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, with some more game development on this game to do screenshots and
And we
stuff,
looked at,
most
like,
likely.
versions for all of them.
But goodbye, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Have fun
I'm
sleeping.
moving away from doing black in
Bye.
general in a lot of the colors because it hides the line work, and I think we were losing a lot of definition.
And then do that.
And then by making the pants lighter, it felt more natural to make like her shirt and jacket a little bit darker and feel like a nice contrast. Whereas when we had like a light jacket and dark pants, the jacket just felt kind of neon. But very cheap for us to change. It's just like changing it's just changing a hex code. So we're still experimenting. But that's the current philosophy. First time chat from, I don't know how to pronounce that, Isagugugloop. We're going to play this game. If you're talking about Tuffle Arena, you can play it at tufflearena.com. If you go there, it just boots right into the game like this. We're also available on... I need to transition my screen again.